A lot of people look at God as kind of a punishing God, and it's almost to the degree that he won't wait until you get to heaven to punish you. He'll punish you with sickness to try to teach you, or and again, how is it that we can preach that God's putting sickness on us? But like if we look at Sodom and Gomorrah, God punished those people on earth. He didn't wait till they went to heaven, to judge them. He judged them here on earth. And so then what about, everybody who drowned with Noah? Seemingly it would look like God judged everybody there, Cain and Abel. I mean, so it seems like God's putting judgment on people on earth, and I know we've even talked about it with like the hurricanes and saying the sins of New Orleans has, made God so angry that he, brought a hurricane to New Orleans. And so I could see where some people believe in this punishing God over and over and over again. If he's willing to drown the world, burn up Sodom and Gomorrah, put sickness on people, bring hurricanes, why wouldn't he be a God who would punish people for eternity? And it is kind of heartbreaking because to me at that point, we're believing in two different gods.
Yeah.
I'm believing in a God who said before the foundations of the world, I love the world and I'm making a plan for the world that does not include the people. I love the thought that God planned all this out before the foundations of the earth, because it wasn't while man was on earth and then he's judging what we're doing or how we're doing it and then changing the plan, seemingly. It was before the foundations of the earth. And so for me, God, being who he is, created a great plan. Like if I were to say to you, and you had the ability to be God and make the plan, and you have kids and you have grandkids, which one of your kids or grandkids would you seemingly say it's okay for them to go to hell, spend eternity in hell? Wouldn't you be God, create a plan that nobody's going to go to hell and, these things happen? So like in us being humanity, wouldn't allow our own kids to go to hell or grandkids to go to hell, or, sometimes we say, to our neighbor or the person who just cut us off, but I just think there's more to just thinking of God as a punisher, either giving people sickness, burning up Sodom and Gomorrah, basically drowned in the whole world. It would seem like it's God's character to have hell.
Yeah. Well, first off, there's not a verse in the Bible that said God created hell. It just doesn't exist. To me, it goes back again, at the end, there is going to be judgment. I mean, people are not going to get away. And this is why people love the theology of hell, because they want people to get what's coming to them. They really, and I'm talking about Christians, they want people to pay for their crimes, And there's a such thing, though, as justice. And you got to realize in the end of everything, people's got so many varied views on eschatology, end times. But Satan's going to launch another attack. I mean, he's coming against God and his people. And that's when fire comes and devours them. If somebody comes, no matter how much I love them, but, and let's just say something goes wrong with the person, okay, mentally, whatever. But you come to my house and you try to hurt my wife and my grandbabies that are inside, and even if I'm kin to you, but if you're trying to come in and do harm, you're not going to do it. And I'll do whatever I got to do to stop that. I see that more like what God's doing in the end. Fire's going to come from his mouth to devour but we're in if you read that, we're in the holy city. I mean, you trying to come on God's house, you hurt his kids. God's a protector. And, so I think, as far as the theology about this, you got, the basic tenet is this: God's not willing that any should perish. You know, not like those two kids. Okay, this guy here, he's going to go. I mean, God's not willing that any should perish, and He did everything that He could do to see that that didn't happen. And if we reject the only way, Jesus is the way. He's the only way. Then there's no alternative. So I can't believe a loving God would send somebody. God's not going to send anybody to hell. It's an absolute free will decision to accept or reject. So if you reject life, then all that's left is death. I mean, and the Bible actually calls it, don't call it the second eternal torment, damnation, torture chamber. It calls it the second death. It's always is life or death. And, you know, there's like, you know, so we, you know, and I think the thing that helps people to understand this and just to have a biblical view of it, and it's not like I invented this. I mean, there's a lot of people that believe this. But they would everybody wants to get a category on somebody, get a label on them, you know. Right. A nihilist. He's an nihilist. He believes in annihilation. I absolutely do, because what the Bible teaches. So God is not this God that's going to be sadistic torturer of people. You got to realize no matter what somebody's done in this life, no, even as bad as Hitler, but there's what kind of punishment would be due eternity of torture? I mean, what kind of crime did you have to commit? Right. You know, so you tell me the good moral person did never even, you know, I mean, he's sinned. We're all sinners, you know, word before we met Christ. But you just you know, like they want to say, a good moral person. Guy loves his wife, loves his kids, pays his bills. He just don't go to church. He don't accept Jesus. Are you going to pay the same price Hitler pays?
Doesn't seem right.
I mean, where's the justice in that? Yeah. You know.